Thanks for joining me today to talk
Hello,
about the film.
mate. Tom
Hey
and
there.
Thomasin from Fackham Hall.
I like your
Well,
shirt.
Yeah, what is
thank
that?
you. Yeah, it's got some wolves on it,
Oh,
howling at the moon, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
yeah.
I guess, well, I mean, Tom, say it again. Peckham Hall.
I believe it's pronounced Fackham Hall.
Thomason.
I'm not gonna say it.
There
I
you
can't
go.
say it. It's too inappropriate.
You're gonna have to see the film.
Yeah.
And I did, and I quite enjoyed it. And I guess the first question I have for you is, I was already talking earlier to Jim O'Hanlon, your director, and he said that you guys did slip really easily into playing this straight without sort of tipping your hand. And I was just curious, uh, as actors going into this, was there ever the moment where you're like, this, it's hard for me to play this one straight because the jokes are just kind of rolling very quickly. Did you have almost break at all with this, Tom?
There were many
Yeah.
many moments where I almost broke, where we all just like it was hard to keep the laughter in. But Jim, said to us from the very beginning to play it as seriously and as straight as we possibly could. So I tried to hold on to that, but it was
There's
difficult.
a few times where we slipped,
Yeah.
but mostly I think it was. I don't want to say easy, but it was easier because we were dressed head to toe in that era's regalia, and we were filming in actual sort of country estates
Mhm.
and real medieval churches and things like that. So it was quite easy to slip into the era. There's definitely a few times where I think we struggled to get through a few scenes. What the worst part is, the more you hear it, the funnier it gets. So then you have to really sort of get it right in the first two scenes. But I think to Jim's point, because we played it so straight, and that's how we all treated it. I think
Mhm.
it's only now that we've seen the film that we realize quite how ludicrously funny everything that we were
Yeah,
doing is.
yeah. When everything is cut together and you got the context. I think we
Were
put I think it works. I
Yeah,
think it's pretty funny.
yeah, yeah.
were either of you fans of this type of occasionally punny, silly wordplay type of films? I'm thinking sort of the airplanes, the Naked Guns, the Hot Shots, any of those from the past.
Absolutely. What were your ones? What ones
Well,
did you go up with?
to be completely honest, I didn't grow up with Naked Gun or Airplane. I did watch a bit of Monty Python, but I watched it kind of traumatized me because one of the ones that I watched was when that man is he's gorging on a humongous meal, and then he comes to the end of the meal and he has one small like end of meal chocolate and he or mint and he explodes and his guts are everywhere and it's
Oh
and it's
God.
horrible. And I think I must have been like around 7 or something, and it really freaked me out. I have that like image. Yeah, it's
That
scarred.
sounds quite traumatic. It does remind
Yeah.
me, I hate to say it, of you and the deviled eggs in the
Yes.
film.
Yeah.
I looked at you with great sympathy.
Luckily, I'm still intact. My guts
Yes,
are still.
absolutely. And professional enough to do that take many times. I grew up with excuse me, my father's humor especially was very much Monty Python and
Mm,
Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers, which is a lot of physical
mm,
humor, but also a lot of clever sort of word and silly play. So
yeah.
that those sort of came together. My mum's a huge fan of Downton Abbey and
Mm,
anything of Jane Austen, this sort of period. So to combine those two together, the silliness of my father's humor with the joy of my mum's love for period dramas,
yeah.
it was a bit of a no-brainer.
I was a big fan, a huge fan of Downton Abbey, and I kind of like a huge inspiration for the character Rose who I play was Sybil from
Hmm.
Downton Abbey, played by Jessica Findlay, Jessica Brown Findlay.
That's right.
I hope that's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, I mean, I grew up watching that show with my dad,
Didn't
and
know that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I loved
Just
it. I
love that.
loved that show. So that was more my kind of point of reference.
Well, and obviously, American audiences have lived with Downton Abbey for a long time, as well as British period dramas and shows for quite a long time. Still, were there moments? And I know Thomas, and you're more you're originally from New Zealand, but were there moments where you're just like, I don't know that this British joke is going to play to our American audiences, or this is a bit inside baseball, as it were. Do you ever have any of those moments?
Sorry, baseball? What's that?
Oh yeah, yeah. This other game.
Um, I think there might have been. Not so much on this. I remember I did a very British film called Last Night in Soho, and there were a couple of jokes in that which very much referenced London culture. And there was one joke about like coming from South London to North London, and as an 18-year-old New Zealander, I just did not get it.
What was the joke?
It was like how long going from North London to South London, vice versa was the joke. And everyone found that so hilarious. But as a New Zealander, I was like, I just could not wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I don't think for a second the writers or directors or actors thought this joke will work really well in France or in South Africa or America. I think we just made the film that was written, well, predominantly by Brits. I think
It was, yeah.
all Brits, pretty
Yeah.
much.
The Dawson brothers, Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr, and obviously Jim, our fearless director, they understood the comedy far better than I ever could. So we were just in their good measure and hoping that everything that they'd found funny on the page would come to life.
I think the trick was like not to worry whether it was going to appeal to, an American or like worldwide audience, but just to like go head first into the British
Absolutely.
comedy.
Did you find it funny?
I did enjoy it, yeah. And
well, it's good to know. It's good to know it works.
Yeah.
I as a fan of both Downton, but as well as like I say this in a good way, a complimentary way, silly humor. And Tom, I mean, I have to ask, I know you've stepped back into the role of Draco with Cursed Child, and I was curious, when you're filming this kind of film, before stepping back into the role of Draco, was there anything about this kind of role that either influenced or prepped you to slip back into the Draco role at all?
Absolutely not. No, very separate things. I'm not sure if I was even aware that I was going back to play Draco as I am now at the
I don't remember you mentioning.
I don't think I was. Yeah, I think I was a huge fan of Jimmy Carr. I loved the script. The cast is just littered with some of England's British's finest comedians / actors. Damian Lewis I've always wanted to work with, and it was a bit of a no-brainer, really, and such a nod to what I grew up finding funny. I just thought it was missing in part of the English fabric of, like, I don't know, films and comedy. I think the world's been waiting for a comedy and a heartwarming comedy like this for a long time. So
it's a very nostalgic film.
Yeah, I find it. Yeah.
And Thomasin, I mean, just sort of related to that, if you're the Wikipedia and IMDb is to be believed, you're filming Victorian Psycho with Jason Isaacs, who of course has a connection with Tom. So I don't know, has there been a conversation back and forth on the Jason Isaacs of it all, and working with him? Any tips or anything?
Well, Tom and I haven't seen each other pretty much since we filmed Fackham Hall, so we haven't really been able to.
What's he said about me?
He loves you. He does.
Hopefully he's been as equally lovely to you as he has been to me.
But sadly, I had no scenes with Jason in Victorian Psycho, so I did have dinner with him, and he's a lovely man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I guess just finally, why is this a good time for silly humor? These kind of films. Why now?
We need it.
When's a bad time for silly humor?
All right. There you go. All right. I believe that's our time, folks. Thanks so much, and best of luck with the film. Fackham Hall.
Fackham Hall.